Welcome to WatchMinded, the channel where we don't just look at watches, we build them. From time to time, we see watches with ice blue dials popping up from different brands. Last year, it was the Tudor Black Bay 54 Lagoon Blue, Breitling with the Navitimer B19, and Citizen with the Series 8. And this year, IWC introduced their Horizon Blue Portugueser models. These are all great watches, but recently, one release really stood out and got a lot of attention on YouTube. The new Longines HydroConquest, especially the versions with the ice blue dial, paired with either a blue or a black bezel. It's a clean, modern take on a diver, and honestly, it looks really good. So today, we're going to build our own version, an ice blue diver. All the parts I'm using are from AliExpress, which means this build is very budget-friendly. You'll find links to parts and tools in the description below. Are you ready? Let's get started. Here it is, our ice blue diver dial. Looking at the indices, I'd say this is almost a submariner-style layout, but in a version Rolex fans will probably never see because of this sunburst light blue color. It features mostly round hour markers, with rectangles at 6 and 9 o'clock, and a triangle at 12. And here's a fun detail. If we compare it to the Longines HydroConquest, the layout is actually kind of reversed. You get circles at 6 and 9, the same triangle at 12, and rectangles for the rest. Depending on the light, the dial shifts from soft blue to almost silver. It really feels alive. This will be the centerpiece of today's build. And for the case, I went with a classic diver design. It's a stainless steel diver-style case with a black bezel and a matching inner ring. It has that clean tool watch aesthetic, with a ceramic bezel insert, crisp white numerals, and a prominent lume triangle at 12. Very functional, very familiar. The case combines brushed and polished surfaces, catching the light while still keeping things understated. And one detail that really stands out here is the ceramic bezel. Unlike aluminum inserts, which tend to look more vintage, this one has a glossy finish that reflects light, and it pairs perfectly with the sunburst dial. Case dimension: diameter 40.8 millimeters without crown, lug to lug 48.4 millimeters, thickness 13.2 millimeters. And for the bracelet, I went with an oyster-style design. This one is fully brushed, which keeps the whole watch looking clean and tool-like. It doesn't reflect too much light, and that fits perfectly with the diver aesthetic. I wanted something understated that wouldn't steal attention from the dial and the bezel, especially with that shiny ceramic insert and the sunburst finish. But if you want something a bit more eye-catching, you can go with the same bracelet with polished center links. That would add more contrast and make the watch feel slightly more premium. The bracelet feels solid overall, and the clasp includes a micro adjustment, a small detail, but it makes a big difference when it comes to comfort. For the hands, I went with a classic diver-style set. You get that familiar Mercedes-style hour hand, paired with a clean, straight minute hand, and a slim seconds hand with a lume pip. All of them are finished in white with lume filling, which keeps the look very clean and highly legible against the ice blue dial. It keeps everything balanced. As for the movement, I use automatic Seiko NH35. It runs at an accuracy of -20 to +40 seconds per day, supports hand winding, hacking seconds, and delivers around 41 hours of power reserve. Before we start building, let's take a quick look at the watch I'm wearing today. It's my open heart Seiko mod with a skeleton dial and an integrated bracelet. I really like this one. It's not too flashy, but it still stands out, and it works for almost any occasion. I'll leave a link to the full build in the description below. And now, let's put everything together and assemble the watch. The process is quite straightforward, so I'll go through it fairly quickly. If you're new to watch modding and want a more detailed breakdown of the movement, parts, and the full process, check out my step-by-step guide to building your own DIY watch. I'll leave a link in the description. As always, we start with the dial. On the back, you'll find small metal pins called dial feet. They help align and secure the dial to the movement, but since this movement only has 2 mounting holes, I need to remove the extra ones. I clip off the excess feet and file the surface smooth, making sure the dial sits perfectly flat. It's important to clean everything properly here, so no metal dust gets left behind. Next, I align the remaining feet with the movement, place the dial on top, and make sure it sits completely flat. Even a tiny gap can cause problems later, like the hands catching on the indices. Before installing the hands, I need to find the midnight position. I rotate the crown until the date changes. That gives me the reference point. With that set, I can install the hands so they align perfectly at 12. I start with the hour hand, using plastic tweezers to avoid scratches, and press it into place with a hand setting tool. Once it's aligned and sitting parallel to the dial, I install the minute hand. And then the seconds hand. After that, I check that all the hands rotate freely and don't touch each other. Next, it's time to case the movement. I clean the case thoroughly, using a brush, an air blower, and a cleaning pen, just to make sure there's no dust inside. Any dust trapped under the crystal will be visible later, so this step really matters. I remove the temporary crown by pressing the release lever. I carefully place the movement into the case and align it properly. The stem for this case is already cut, but if you're working with a new case, it will usually be too long and needs to be trimmed. To do that, you screw the stem into the crown, insert it into the movement, and measure how much needs to be removed. Then you cut it, test the fit, and if needed, trim it again. It's always better to go step by step than cut too much at once. Once that's done, I clean the case back, especially since it has a display window, and screw it down tightly. And here it is, the final result. As usually, I send a picture of the watch to ChatGPT and asked his opinion about it. Mr. GPT, please tell me what you think about this watch. And this is what I get.
This watch feels clean, balanced, and modern. The ice blue dial stands out, but in a subtle way. It catches the light without being too loud. This is the kind of watch for someone who wants a classic diver look, but with a bit more personality. Not just another black dial, something a little different. It's perfect as an everyday watch. You can wear it to the office, on weekends, or take it on vacation. And especially in the summer, this dial really comes alive.
And here's a quick look at the Lume. I'll put my open heart watch near it just for the reference. The Lume is bright, evenly applied, and easy to read. Exactly what you want from a diver. Nothing over the top, but definitely strong enough to be practical in the dark.
Before we get into more close-ups and real-life shots, let's break down the budget. You'll find all the links to the parts and tools in the description below. Case, $39. Dial with hands, $16. Bracelet, $15. Movement, Seiko NH35, $64. That brings the total cost to $134. And here are a few real-life shots from my trip to Lyon, France.
Thank you for watching Watch Minded. Hit the like button and subscribe for more builds. I'll see you in the next one.